will you copy that and you can post it anywhere. It's like the Facebook page, whatever, and like people can click it and they can see it live as it's happening.
Okay, so we're live right now. Hi, Ezzy.
Yeah, we're at HQ.
You done say hi to your mother, you done?
Yeah, hello. Hi, Emo. Quiet there.
Are you posting those over here?
Hour in, but it's I feel like it was just the story. Yeah. We're already almost halfway through. Appreciate it.
This don't make much sense to me. I don't know. Okay. Remember, I put it on pages, okay? So you'll help me do this.
Yeah, no, I have to share phones will be there for sure.
Okay. Okay, Shavuot. Today we're doing parshat. We're going to be doing Hanukkah during the week also. Okay? You have a book? No, where's Malka and Michal and Sarah?
They'll be here. Yeah, yes.
It's already 12:40, yeah. Okay, so Yocheved, you're enjoying these complicated parashiot, stories of your ancestors?
Yes.
Yes, eh? There's still so much to, oh, here they are. Yeah. And while you're there, that second switch closer to the bookshelf, turn it on, over there, the other one, turn that one on. Yeah, turn it on. Turn it on. You have to turn it all the way. Okay.
Seriously.
Bigdal, Toishi Abane, Bigdal, Toishi Abane. Bigdal, Toishi Abane, Toishi Abane. Didn't put in the words correctly. Hi. Sorry, Gayuna, Livnei Venayem, Sorry, Gayuna, Livnei Venayem, Big love, Toishi Abanim, Livnei Venayem, Samike Yona, Livnei Venayem. Okay. So here we come to another fascinating parsha, Vayetze, and it's an extremely, extremely important parsha, as is everything else in the Torah. But like Yaakov's dream, right? Yaakov has to leave Eretz Yisrael. Avram Avinu is the first Jew who was born outside of Israel, and he comes to Israel. Yitzchak Avinu is the first Jew who's born in Israel, and Hashem never lets him leave. Yaakov is the first Jew who's born inside of Israel and has to go into exile. So the story is basically. So the story is basically, in a certain sense, the story of Vayetze Yaakov Mebe'er Sheva Vayelech Harana is also the story of the neshama coming down to this world, right? Harana means, okay, so you guys are going to have to share a book, some of you. Right. Hi, Pina. Okay, wait. So far we're okay. Then Shira's coming, so okay, and you'll share with Shira or whatever, okay? And so the neshama originates in a very, very high place, right? And it has to come down into this world, which is known as Haran. Haran is from the Russian of Haran Af, the place of anger, right? This is the world of anger. Why is this the world of anger? You can answer.
Why is the world that we live in?
It's in a certain sense, like, this is a world of anger. In other words, because the more distant you are from your neshama, right? When are you angry? When you're not in touch with your neshama.
When you seek things that are like distant from your neshama, but you're not really sure because you don't really know what connects you to your neshama.
And also, like it's upsetting. It's a frustrating world, right? You know that word, frustrating. I'm pretty familiar. I'm looking at your face. I imagined that you never heard such a thing. Huh? Not quite, eh? Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So the Gemara says, "Kol hako'es kilu oved avodah zarah." Right? Anybody who loses their temper, it's as if they're worshiping an idol. Why? What idol? Who's the idol? Who's being worshipped?
Me.
The self, the egotistical self, right? In other words, you end up worshiping yourself and so on. And they basically arguments and take for example, in the mitzvah v'yahavta l'reacha kamecha, love your fellows as you love yourself. So the Tzemach Tzedek says that. How much sense would it make any sense? Like somebody slicing a slice of bread, and he's holding the loaf of bread with the left hand and using the knife with the right hand, and by mistake he cuts himself. Would it make any sense if this person would then transfer the knife to the left hand and say, go ahead, take revenge on the right hand? It would be totally absurd, right? Why? Why is it absurd? Because you're one person, right? You're one person, so. Maybe you move a little bit this way and you move a little bit this way so that there's room for you. Come here. Huh? Okay, so fine. So share with Pnina and you come share with Yocheved, okay? Or you share with Sarah, whatever's convenient. Would be totally absurd, to transfer the knife to the other hand and take revenge on the hand that cut, right? Would be totally absurd. Why? Because you're one person, right? So good. So one part of the body, by mistake, hurt another part of the body. Okay, now, but then if somebody steps on my toe, there, and they did it often enough, I'm going to slug them, right? Hopefully not. But why? Because I'm not feeling connected with this person. right? But if you're really connected with your neshama, so on the neshama level, we're all coming from the same source. We're all coming from the same source. So a neshama person is one who is connected with your source, which means that the operating drive in your life is achdut, is unity, right? That's what's driving you, is unity, right? So coming down to this world, bichlal, is a whole experience of separation, right? Originally, the neshama was in a state of achdut, was in a state of unity together with the Rebbeinu Shalom, was living in this blissful situation, and then you get a notification, right? Obviously by email. You guess what? You're going down to this world, right? So the neshama is already like, already experiencing separation. You come on, you hang out in your mother's womb for 9 months, and being born is also an experience of separation, right? That's why a lot of people like to crawl back into, would like to, you see people going into a fetal position often, when they're feeling like really alone, like they'll curl up, like back in a fetal position because they want to go back into that comfort zone of their mother's womb. How do you say womb in Hebrew? Rechem. And how do you say compassion? Rachmanut, right? It's the same word, right? To have compassion, on somebody is basically to make space for them, to make them feel included in your being, right? That's Rachmanut. So why do people get angry? Because they feel alone. They feel separated. They feel like they're in this battle all by themselves, etc. Right? So Yaakov leaves Beersheba, and it comes down to this world of anger, right? The neshama is coming down into this world, and so the whole issue is what the parsha is really about. The beginning of the parsha is the dream, with Yaakov's dream, with the ladder, etc. And don't forget your dream, and don't forget that there's a ladder, and don't forget that there's V'hinei Hashem Nisav Alav, and don't forget that the Rebbeinu Shalom is on top of the ladder. In other words, is above you, is ready to receive you all the time. So that's and all these stories the last few weeks and the next few weeks is really stories about living and living successfully in this world, right? Okay, so we're going to start on page 205. So it says that right, Vayivga b'makom. He came upon the place. Now the word Vayivga is also interpreted. Rashi brings the interpretation as to mean that he prayed over there. Right, he left Beersheba and he passed by the Har HaMoriah, and then all of a sudden he realized, wait a minute, I passed by this place that my ancestor prayed at. I passed by the place where my father was on the altar, and I didn't even stop to pray there. So he goes back and he comes to the place. He had Kfitzat HaDerech, and he prayed over there, and that's where he slept, and that's where he had the dream. So Eretz Yisrael Nikreit Eretz HaChayim. Eretz Yisrael is known as the land of the living, the land of life. Yesh Eitz HaChayim, there's the tree of life. Shehu Amok Ma'od, it's a very deep thing. Aval Hu Rak Eitz, but it's just a tree. Yesh Eretz HaChayim, and then there's the land of life. Shehi od yoter amukam, which is even deeper. So what does that mean? Siman ha'ikari lechayim, what is the primary indication that something is alive? Hu gedilah v'hitrachavut, is that if it's alive, it grows and it expands, right? Right? It's that's the essence of life. Eretz Yisrael הפכה לארץ החיים כשנמסרה ליעקב אבינו, Eretz Yisrael became the land of life when it was given over to Yaakov Avinu. בפרשת ויצא מסופר שיעקב אבינו בשעה שברח מעשיו, the parshat tells us that when Yaakov Avinu was escaping from Esav, עבר בירושלים, he passed through Yerushalayim, יצא את ארץ ישראל, he left Israel, אבל ברגע שהגיע לחוץ לארץ, but as soon as he got to חוץ לארץ, אמר לעצמו, he said to himself, איך יכולתי לבוא בירושלים בלי להתפלל? How could I have possibly gone past Yerushalayim without praying there? השמש שקע, so he went back, right? And the sun set, הוא התפלל, he prayed, ואז נרדם and he fell asleep. הגמרא אומרת שבאותו רגע בדיוק, at that moment, exactly at that moment, התרחבה ירושלים והגיעה את יעקב. Yerushalayim, so to speak, expanded itself and reached Yaakov. באותו רגע בדיוק, at that very moment, בית המקדש והמזבח הגיעו אל יעקב. The בית המקדש and the altar reached Yaakov, עד כדי כך התרחבה ירושלים, so much did Yerushalayim expand. Now, the Medrash portrays this in a number of different ways. This is one particular portrayal of the Medrash. Rashi brings the other Medrash that he had kfitzat haderech, right? As soon as he said, "How could I have passed by and not prayed there?" He zoomed back, like miraculously, all the way to Har HaMoriah. The what do you call it? First of all, I want to just say in general, you got to get out of your mindset where you think that you know what's possible and what's not possible. Okay, it could be that for 5,000 years, such and such a thing never happened, but it doesn't mean that it can't happen. Okay, understand? So when we speak about kfitzat haderech, and those stories about the Baal Shem Tov having kfitzat haderech, or Yaakov Avinu having kfitzat haderech, like all of a sudden they're they covered tremendous distance in a short little bit. So it's true. It's not the kind of thing that happens all the time. It's not the kind of thing that you've experienced personally, and so on and so on. But don't think that is strictly a metaphor. But if you want to think about it in a metaphorical sense, you can think about it metaphorically as well. So when this Medrash says that Yerushalayim sort of expanded itself, and in other words, that Yerushalayim reached him, that the Beit HaMikdash reached him, so in a metaphorical sense, is basically saying that when you want to really connect with Hashem, Hashem will give you the opportunity, will give you the opportunity to do it. Hashem will help you to do it. Like the Gemara says, Pitzchu li kichudosh shel machad, open your heart for me, like just as much as the eye of a needle, and I will open for you a great expansive hall. Okay?
Where is that written?
So it's a Maimonides Gemara. I don't know. We can look it up. Okay? So the point being that if you don't give up, like, so you say that, so like, there is such a thing as missed opportunities, right? Like you had an opportunity to do something and you didn't take advantage of it and you missed the opportunity, right? What do we do very often? We just sort of like give up, right? But what the Torah is saying is, Yaakov had an opportunity to stop in Yerushalayim, to pray on his way to Chutz La'aretz, right? He missed the opportunity. You might think that, well, your fault. You had an opportunity. You didn't take advantage. Forget it, right? That's how things operate in this world, right? So the Torah is telling us that even if you miss an opportunity, don't give up. Right? If you really want it, Hashem will help you achieve it. Okay. So Abraham and Yitzchak zachu she'eretz Yisrael nitna lahem. So Reb Shlomo says, Abraham and Yitzchak, they merited that Eretz Yisrael was given to them. Aval Yaakov zacha lemadrega gvoha yoter. Yaakov reached he merited an even higher level. Hechan sheYaakov nimtza, wherever he happened to be, sham nimtzeit gam Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael is there too. LiYaakov yeshna hayecholet lahaziz et Yerushalayim ad lemkomo. Yaakov had the capability to move Yerushalayim to wherever he was, afilu michutz le'eretz Yisrael, even outside of Israel. Eitz hachayim hu nifla. The tree of life is an amazing thing. Aval omeid b'makom echad bilvad. But it's just in one place. Eretz hachayim, the living land, the land of life. L'umat zot yichola lahagia lechol ha'olam. It can reach the entire world. The Gemara says that Atida Eretz Yisrael shetitpashet l'chol ha'aratzot. When Mashiach comes, Eretz Yisrael is going to expand to all the countries of the world. Lo eitz hadat v'lo eitz hachayim. It's not the tree of knowledge or the tree of life that's going to do that. Ela Eretz hachayim, but the land of life. Kol ha'olam yeh kadosh k'mo Eretz Yisrael. Zohi madrigat Yaakov Avinu. This is the level of Yaakov Avinu that he was able to merit, that the holiness of Eretz Yisrael should reach him and be with him wherever he was. Now, just to put it into a little bit of words that make it a little bit more realistic for us, okay? Does it make sense? Does it make logical sense that for 2,000 years we've been saying 3 times a day, "V'Yerushalayim yilcha b'rachamim tashuv, v'techezena eineinu b'shuvcha l'tzion b'rachamim"? Does it make logical sense that can you explain how it is that we haven't given up praying for something, for Hashem's return to Yerushalayim, that we haven't given up on seeing the Shechina in the Beit HaMikdash for a good 2,000 years approximately? How come we didn't give up?
We're praying for something eternal. It's like it's infinite, so 2,000 years in comparison to infinite is not really anything.
Okay, but that's true. But how come we haven't given up? It must be that even though, and I'm going along with what you're saying, you understand? That means that even though you might not have a really strong feeling about it, or you might not have a strong identity with it, you have the Jewish people have some kind of a connection with it, because if there was no connection whatsoever, it's not possible that we would have continued davening for 2,000 years for something that you don't have any connection with, right? The very fact that you're davening 3 times a day and saying, Hashem, return to Yerushalayim. We want to see the Shekhinah in the Beit HaMikdash. That means that you have to have some kind of a connection to it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking for it, right?
Then the same thing
What?
with Yaakov.
Speak up.
With Yaakov and Yosef, right? Like he kept like
Aviv Shamar et hadavar.
he kept like mourning and crying over Yosef because Yosef really was still alive. Like our dream is really still alive. It's not dead.
Nachon.
So
Nachon. Very good. Very good analogy. Good analogy. Okay. Very good analogy. Yes.
I'd like to say something about a sentence that you read in the very first sentence in the second paragraph.
Yeah.
Said Hasimani Kari, the indication that something is alive is that it's growing and expanding. That's not something that can be taken for granted, that definition. Sometimes people just exist and I think that's life. And they don't grow. A lot of people don't grow all the time. Some people stay stuck.
So then they're not.
They start from a very young age even. And not everyone knows that growth in life is supposed to be together. And I think if you're saying that this is the land of Eretz HaChaim, and if Chaim means Gedilah B'Chavut, means growth, and then that means this is the land where we get strength to grow. This is a place of growth. When we come in contact with the land of Israel, then we are full of life and growth in the sense of newness and growth.
So that's another picklish. It's not that this is in place of this. You understand? Don't
give me another additional thing.
No, an additional picklish. You understand? You understand? You gotta. Michal, your Rebbe is here. Okay.
Shalom.
Look at him, his jacket. Michal, you see your Rebbe came to see you.
He didn't come to see me. He came to you.
Came to give you a kiss.
Also,
Shalom Aleichem.
entrance is very lovable.
So,
Welcome.
okay. So now, obviously, some people feel their connection with Eretz Yisrael is stronger than others. Come up here. Take a chair. Take a chair. And here you can. No. Here. Or Mayor looking with Sean. Yeah.
There.
Okay, page 206. So what Yeshaya was saying was that, I know people that the only place that they can grow is over here, right? And I know people that they feel that connection with Eretz Yisrael wherever they are. Okay? Fact of the matter is that and personally, like when I travel, I'm very aware that after 3 days of being in Chutz La'aretz, I begin to feel sucked in, to the Golis. Like it's not that that we're always like on the highest level over here, but it's like Golis has like this. It's like this sort of like it just sucks you in, and you start, the things you start being concerned about are altogether different, but obviously, the Baal Shem Tov's teaching was that, make Eretz Yisrael where you are, but that's more about, if you have to be in Chutz La'aretz for whatever good reason, you have to be there, so don't get totally sucked into Chutz La'aretz. Live as if you're living in Eretz Yisrael. Okay, page 206. Hamuda v'ha'al muda. Muda is conscious awareness, and al muda is super consciousness. Okay, like there's a level of consciousness, like, you're aware of, this is a table, that's a glass, you're sitting over here, she's sitting over there, right? Super consciousness is like having an awareness that there's something going on at a higher level as well, okay? The Torah says that Yaakov slept there because the sun had set.
Those kiva shemesh.
Yeah, that's the Biat Shemesh is the term for sunset in the Torah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
The other way around.
Zricha is sunrise, okay?
Right.
And Kiva HaShemesh, okay? But I don't know why, but that's
Come
the way
in.
it is.
Comes in.
No, but here, but it's
Yeah, but
going
that's
out.
anyway.
Comes in.
כי המזבח שאליו עקד אברהם אבינו את יצחק אבינו היה בנוי מ-12 אבנים. The altar upon which Abraham Avinu put Yitzchak on at the Akedah was built from 12 stones. דור אחד לאחר מכן, one generation later, הגיע יעקב אבינו לבית אל. Yaakov Avinu came to Beit El, v'chipeis b'choshech makom lishkav bo. He was looking for a place to sleep in the dark. Hu amar la'atzmo, he said to himself, Im emtzah 12 avanim lishkav aleihen, if I find 12 stones to sleep on, kimo she'avi shachav al hamizbeach, like my father slept on the altar of 12 stones, that will be the sign that I'm going to be bringing 12 tribes into the world. So he's not giving us the source for this, but this is obviously a medrash. What?
Isn't the word shachal
To lie down.
as strong?
Lishkav bo. Okay. אבל כל זה לא התרחש במודע. Now, this didn't happen on some kind of a conscious level. במקום כלשהו מעבר להכרה. It was in some place beyond conscious awareness. יעקב ידע שהוא מחפש את 12 האבנים. Somewhere, like he's super consciously, he was aware that he's looking for 12 stones. But on the conscious level, on the conscious level, כל מה שהוא ראה היה חושך ולילה. All that he was consciously aware of was darkness and night. He didn't really know on a conscious level what exactly is happening. Now, we're going to understand it better as we go along. הגמרא אומרת שאברהם אבינו כינה את עבודת השם הר. The Gemara says that Abraham Avinu referred to the service of God. He used the word Har. Har Hashem Yira'eh. Yitzchak Avinu kina et avodat Hashem Sadeh. Yitzchak's avodat Hashem is, so to speak, nicknamed with the word Sadeh. Because it says, Vayetze Yitzchak lasuach basadeh. Yaakov Avinu kina et avodat Hashem Bayit. And Yaakov Avinu, in referring to the Avodat Hashem, uses the word Bayit, right? Because it says, En ze ki im beit Elohim. Ma pirusha shel Avodat Hashem b'madrigat Bayit. So what does that mean? What does it mean to serve Hashem on the level of a Bayit? Mahi haktusha hamiyuchedet shel habayit. It's okay. Somebody's coming in. I think it's Judy or Tiffy. Mahi haktusha hamiyuchedet shel habayit. What's the unique holiness of a house. בבית אני מרשה לעצמי לפעול מתוך החלקים הלא מודעים שלי. At home, I allow myself to act in a subconscious way as well.
Not self-conscious. Okay. Also.
Please let me just do this for a second, okay? In other words, when I'm outside the house, I know that there's things that are expected, green light, cross the street, red light, stop, appointments are at a certain time, etc., right? and you're governed by the conscious stuff, right? In a house, like you're at home. You feel like doing this, you feel like doing that, you feel like doing that. You don't have to have a conscious reason why you want to do it right now, right? And if you feel like waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and going to wash dishes or the floor, you don't have to explain to anybody, how come you're doing that, right? When I'm in a hotel, I need to conduct myself in a conscious way. Did I just skip a line?
No,
I think so. I'm sorry, yeah, skip the line. When I'm in a hotel, I'm there, and in a restaurant, I'm there in a conscious way. When I'm in a hotel, I'm there in a conscious way. But the house is my house. And the way I behave in it, the way I behave in my house is also an expression of my subconscious and my superconscious. Zohi Beiti, it's my house. Ani margish noach maspik, I feel comfortable enough. Kidei lo liyot b'muda'ut b'yachas l'ma shani oseh bo. I don't have to be conscious all the time, right? And it's like, what do you call it? It's like, people go out on a date and they get to know each other on a conscious level, right? Then they get married and then they start realizing that there's a whole other dimension to this person that you got married to, right? They have their quirks, they have their this, they have their that, like this has to be over there, that has to be over there, this and so on, and all kinds of little things that when you're outside in the street, you don't reveal all of that, right? You just, okay? Now, what's the point? So he says like this, Simu lev ledavar amok. Pay attention to this deep thing. אפשר להסתכל על אדם ברחוב ולראות שהייחוד שלו כלל אינו ניכר כלפי חוץ. You can look at a person in the street and you see that what makes this person unique is not at all visible on the exterior. הייחוד שלי לא נובע מהמודע שלי. What makes me unique is not my conscious self and behavior. אמנם הוא עשוי להופיע גם כשאני במודעות מלאה, true, my uniqueness should manifest in my conscious life as well, אבל אין לי שליטה על איך וכמה הוא ייראה, but I don't really have control of how and to what extent it's going to be visible. הייחוד שלי הוא העל מודע המוחלט. My uniqueness is super conscious. Now this is Omek HaMakim Shali. We're talking about the depths of my depths. We mentioned before that all our souls come from the same place, right? But you are you and I'm I, right? Now, let's say even if we would have gone to the same school, right? We wouldn't come out the same, right? Even if we have the same aptitude, we wouldn't necessarily come out the same, right? Because there's a realm of our being that is higher than the conscious realm. Okay, so what works for you doesn't necessarily work for you. Okay, why is that? Can you explain why? You can't necessarily explain it. You're a different neshama. But you all come from this. We all come from the same source, right? It should work equally for everybody. No, that's not true. It's a mistake. That's one of the problems with the education system, which hasn't really it can be overcome, but it's not so easy. Is that okay? You're 6 years old. That means you're supposed to be in grade 1. And the system puts you into a herd. And the education system is treating you not as an individual but as a member of the herd. Kita Aleph, this is what you learn. Right? Kita Bet, this is what you learn. But I don't want to be in school, or I want to do music, or I'm not I'm not cut out for math. I'm not this or whatever. Give me what I need, right? But the system doesn't pay attention to that, right? Now we try to sort of have the herd go through life as a herd, and everybody fit in and do what's expected of you. Now, why can't you fit in? I'm a good example of somebody that never fit in. And I spent years trying to figure out. I tried to fit in here. I tried to fit in there. I tried to fit in there, and mamish, just didn't succeed. Okay, just didn't succeed in fitting in, and I finally had to make peace with the fact. You know what? That's the way I am, and it's not my job in the world is not to fit in. Okay, it's not that it's not to fit in, but it's not. That's that. And so long as I just kept on trying to fit in, I was wasting energy, so to speak. Like they say in Hebrew, tochein mayim. You know what means tochein mayim? You're grinding water. It's an expression, means like you're wasting your time. Okay. So the thing is that for example, sometimes you hear somebody goes to you invite somebody to your shul, let's say, and then after that you say, so how was it? And then sometimes you'll hear somebody saying, it was very nice, but it didn't feel like at home. It didn't feel home. It didn't feel like it's my home here. Why didn't it feel like your home? We use the same siddur that we used in your shul or whatever it is. It's something that you can't necessarily explain. See, some people you can put them wherever they are, wherever you want to put them, they'll function, they'll be okay, everything will be fine, right? And some people, mamish, if it doesn't feel like it's at home, it's hard to relate to it, right? The Yiddishkeit has to be at home. So what's so special about the connection between parents and children? Hashem ma'anit lahorim koach miyuchad lizahot ula'akir et ma shekadosh u'miyuchad b'yeled shelem. Hashem gives energy and a special ability to identify what's unique in their children. Now, מדוע כל אבא ואמא מוכנים להישבע שהילד שלהם הוא הכי טוב בעולם? Why is every father and mother ready to swear that their kid is the best in the world? I don't know about every parent, and every kid, but right? But hopefully that's the case. I know your mother will swear any second that you're the best in the world. She already did 1,000 times,
This is true.
I know.
Yes.
It didn't take more than 2 minutes to realize that, But even so, the fact is that parents are prepared to do that, right? Why is that? Because a teacher comes up and says, your kid is a real skunk and da 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 da, and the mother is thinking was my kid in your class? This couldn't have been my kid, couldn't be my kid that you're talking about, right? So because parents can recognize the uniqueness of every child, because their parents are connected to the unique point of each child. And they don't have that ability to realize that with everybody else. So, and Zohar Mashmaut, and this is what it means when we say Le'ahov Adam, to love a person. Lizahot et hanekudah sheba hu miyuchad ve'en sheni lo. To love somebody means to identify what makes this person special, and nobody else is like them in that particular thing. So therefore, page 207, when I love somebody, when I love somebody, I think that he or she is the most beautiful person in the world. I'm not lying. I really think so. Reb Shlomo used to tell everybody, you're the greatest, you're the best, right? Because he would see what made you special, what made you unique. And in that respect, and he said, I love you, because he really believed that. It means that to love somebody, you're connected to the deepest essence of that person. And that's not a simple thing at all. Okay? It's not a simple thing at all. Right? Most of the time when we say to another person, I love you, it's what the Mishnah calls the Hava HaTluya B'Davar. It's a love which is dependent on some reason, and it's usually not altruistic love. In other words, it's not because I love you, but rather I really love myself, and I appreciate the way you make me feel for one reason or another. Right? The old folk tale. The fisherman catches a beautiful fish, and he says, "Oh wow, the king loves fish." Fish thinks to himself, I have a chance to survive. He takes the fish to the palace. The guards look at the fish. Oh wow, the king loves fish. The fish thinks I still have a chance of surviving. They bring the fish to the king. The king says, "Oh, I love fish. Chef, go and fry it for me," right? And the fish says, "You don't love fish, you love yourself. You just love eating fish," right? And most of our relationships are like that. Most of our I love you because you laugh at my jokes. I love you because you're going to vote for me. I love you because this, because that, because that, because that. That's a hava hatluya b'davar. It's conditional. Thank you. It's related that Reb Levi Yitzchak Berditchev once said that his deepest lesson in loving people he learned from two Russian drunkards. And one night Vlad says to his friend, "Ilya, do you love me?" And he says, "Yeah." She says, "Well, then how come you never know what I need?" Right? And if somebody comes and says, "I love you," but you know that they don't really know you, they don't know the depth of your being, right? So maybe they're very nice to you, maybe they care about you, all good things, right? But it's not mamish ahava. It's not mamish ahava. Okay, it's not. Now, what happens in families where parents tell the kids, "Why aren't you like this one? Why can't you be like your brother? Why can't you be like your sister?" Right? What happens there? The kid is like thinking to himself, "I'm not my brother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not my sister. What do you want from me?"
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm me. Right? And that's a serious problem, and that goes on. And the truth of the matter is that parents innately or naturally, naturally are gifted. You can come in, Micha. I'll be with you in a couple of minutes. But in the meantime, come in. Parents are naturally, innately given the talent to recognize the specialness of each child. Okay? Why so? Because Hashem, why? Because the very fact that Hashem is giving our parents different children, that means that Hashem is saying, I trust you. I've given you the ability to actually know each of your children and to figure out what's special about each of your children and love them for who they are and guide them and facilitate their development as it should be. Okay. Problem is that our parents also get caught up in this system. They get caught up in the system and they think that just like the schools are trying to produce like cookie cutter graduates, like everybody's going to be the same or whatever it is. So our parents get caught up in that too, and they unfortunately think that the sign of being a success, the sign of a successful parent is that I too produced a bunch of cookie cutter kids, and that's obviously it's a mistake. But without judging them, they mean well. They mean well. They want you to be able to get along in life. They want you to be able to fit in, etc., etc. They mean well, right? But but bless everybody that when you're going to have with your own children and your Hashem and your grandchildren, that you avoid that mistake of thinking that that every one of your children has to be the same, and this is what Trina was mentioning a verse in